It's a god-awful small affair to the girl with the mousy hair. Hey, y'all, come on in. We have a soap today that was a gift from Doug Lane.
And we are off to discover life on Mars with Astra Planeta.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
But on Wednesdays and Saturdays,
we are the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, y'all, come on in. Thank you for finding our little barbershop. If you happen to be here during one of the live premieres, won't you come in the live chat? Meet the Whiff Pack, a cool group of friends from all over the world hanging out. They'd love to meet you, too.
They would. And for our mention today, Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements just re-released Irish coffee for St. Patrick's Day.
Y'all, we love this because the coffee is not the prominent part. You know what it is? The whiskey, the whipped cream, the butterscotch notes. Y'all, what a charmer this is. And just in time to help you celebrate St. Patrick's Day in style. And what is our soap today?
Our soap today is Astra Planeta, which is a tobacco-forward scent.
Y'all, one of the bookends for PAA with Cavendish itself. Let's meet the soap. All right, y'all, from the sales page at Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements.
A flavorful, memorable, relaxing tobacco scent, rich in honeyed woody notes with especially boozy and boldly woody undertones. Languid, rich, and beguiling. Alluring, masculine, and downright intoxicating.
Meet Astra Planeta, not your everyday tobacco-forward scent, but something a little different, something a little celestial. Though the full flavor of cured tobacco leaf does indeed lead the way, there's a lot more going on here. A range of other scent notes work in tandem to complement and bolster the accord like no other tobacco scent I have experienced, thus making Astra Planeta something truly unique.
I really love classic tobacco scents and have many in my collection from vintage to modern. Heck, Cavendish was the first tobacco soap in the wet shaving world. It was also the second scent we put out after our Classico Bay Rum, our first. So yes, tobacco scents hold a special place in my heart, and I have been influenced by many. So let's dig into this blend, shall we?
First off, if you have not tried a tobacco-scented soap yet because you're not a fan of smoking, you have the wrong idea. Tobacco fragrances are not designed to smell anything like cigarettes or ashtrays or burning, but are based on the bold, rich blends of tobacco before they are smoked. Sometimes they're based on the actual tobacco flower itself, which is the furthest thing from smelling like a Marlboro with its floral bouquet and lightness.
In Astra Planeta, we explore what can be done with the leaf, pushing the limits to see what magic we can pull out or accentuate with the aid of other complementary scents. This was truly a lot of trial and error, and a lot of waiting around. Each variation of the blend was created, then checked daily for almost a week to see how it was developing. The notes taken for Astra Planeta are plentiful. Many a yellow notepad was decorated with my chicken scratch and stained by oils and resins as we moved through the process, getting closer to our mark.
And the rest are scent notes. So we're going to leave those for a little bit later in the episode, but I'm excited because if this is anything like Harvest Moon, y'all, the tobacco in that and the sales page are one of the most perfect marriages of two things in this wet shaving world I have ever seen. I can't not think of a haunted carnival at dusk when I put that on. I am more than excited to see what planet we're going to today. Let's take it out of the box. Oh, y'all, I don't know if I have ever seen a label that looks more like a sci-fi 50s movie poster than this one. Look at that, y'all. I love that. Creature from the Black Lagoon kind of stuff going on here. And this is my favorite foamy paper. It covers up the aftershave. It gets to you in the mail in one piece. Oh, y'all, look at that. What is that ribbon thing behind her? I think it looks like an airplane and then a cube up above, but something is coming in to embrace her a little bit. And I am here for it. It almost looks like an electric shaver, but not in this world.
No. And here, this one has like some old ruins of some sort coming through.
Every good city has ruins. Well, y'all, I think it's time for a little first impression.
I think Malboge was one of the first ones that snuck tobacco under my radar. And I didn't know that that's what I was smelling, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. And then as we were reading the scent notes, I'm like, oh, if that's what tobacco is in this scent world, I am down.
Well, having three grandparents that smoked incessantly, that is where my brain first went when I would think tobacco. But the more we get into this wet shaving world, it's never lit. It's always cured. It's always the plant. It's always the flower as Doug was mentioned on the page. All right, take this in. Let's see where it takes you.
Okay. I'm guessing Doug Lane will make sure that we're covered here. So.
He's got a great nose, y'all.
Well, that was a long whiff.
What'd you get?
So when we were reading and we mentioned honey-like or something.
Honeyed woods?
Yeah, that is for sure more of what I'm getting. I know there's tobacco in here, but that is not the first part of the whiff that I get.
Gotcha.
So it's a much lighter, I almost think of a barely tanned wood.
Right.
I really do get, it's honey, but it's not like the gourmandy side. Oh. So it's almost more of the honey amber or a honeyed wood. It's something with the honey combo.
Right.
Maybe it's the tobacco, but the way that it's done here is much more uplifting of a scent. It's if you go light to dark, I would say this is way more on the light side.
Because Harvest Moon is so dark. It's got its own gravity, y'all, and it has burrowed into my soul so deeply because of its mysterious nature. But this goes the other way.
Yes, and I would say for me, Malbauge is more in the middle. To me, that's more of a red kind of amber orangey color. This is a vibrancy kind of turned up version. I want to start my day with this. The sun is up. Good things are happening. This is an eye-opening, way different than I was expecting.
This is lighter than Malbauge, and I get a sense of Halloween candy wrappers in Malbauge. And the good ones, the Snicker kind.
This is one of the lightest woodsy scents that we have, I think.
No kidding. Is it like anything in the PAA catalog?
I was trying to figure that out, and I don't think so.
Nice.
There is something, it is nothing close to clown fruit, but the coloring, the lightness of it, I think I would almost go in that lane.
Gotcha. I was mentioning on one of the other episodes, now that we have 75 or 80 PAA soaps, I see it like a giant 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle, and the picture is starting to take shape, and no two pieces are anything alike. So I love that this is adding to that puzzle of what PAA can do.
It's funny because this is, I know it's a tobacco forward scent, but to me, it's so clean of a scent.
Right.
That again, the tobacco I think is just adding a fun texture. I think it is more like the tobacco flower part that they were talking about because there is a gentle floral here that's hinting at that clean, prettier side.
Nice.
So most of the time when I read tobacco, I think more of that texture, more of the dry tobacco or there's spices that are happening.
Right.
This is pre-spice. This is way before that would even take hold. I might even say that this is the most unisex version of a tobacco. I don't get masculine or feminine at all. I just get a nice, clean, pretty, start your day with a smile scent.
Well, this is my surprise face. I was not expecting that statement. A feminine version of tobacco.
It's just all the pretty sides. And I don't mean pretty necessarily in a feminine way. I just mean that it's not exactly going masculine.
If you're smelling notes of freshly cleaned dog, it's actually her. She got her bath today.
Ready to get a whiff?
I have never been more ready to get a whiff because from what you've explained, this is absolutely the opposite of what I was expecting. I was kind of expecting something close to Harvest Moon.
Yeah,
which is two dark tobaccos and currant. Y'all.
So if you could take the spice part out of Astra Traveler, I think we're getting a little closer to this.
Bright morning orangey tobacco for me, Astra Traveler. So I was thinking this might be a flanker to that. Who knows? All right, here we go.
Get your nose in there.
The shaking clan. Glime.
He's ready.
Soapy.
Yep. Clean.
Soapy, beautiful, clean tobacco. Y'all, why was I not warned about this? Hold on. Wow. That's what I love about the PAA catalog, giving you things that are nostalgic and familiar in an entirely new way so you can discover them all over again from the beginning. I never would have thought tobacco and soapy would have A, gone together, or B, gone together so beautifully as they are here. Hold it, because it just sits as a spice. It just sits as an herb. It sits as a cleverness in the middle of this mix. Ooh, it's even got some heat to it somehow.
I think there's other scent notes. I think there's more besides tobacco, but I don't know how the magic is happening.
And it's giving it a creamy quality. It's giving it a floral quality. I bet you there's tobacco flower in this.
Right?
And if you are to look at the spices inside of a cured tobacco leaf, the darker ones go more cinnamony and the lighter ones go more floral. And this is ignoring the cinnamony part, and all you are getting are those streaks of bright yellow sunlight through the window. Wow. Hold on.
It was definitely worth all those yellow ruled note papers that you had to fill out.
I would love to see those. And I love that you said this tobacco has a feminine edge because you nailed it. It's not a Mary Poppins edge. It's a Calamity Jane edge.
Yeah.
But y'all, it's here. Annie Oakley. And the first 2/3 of what I get are a beautiful, masculine, spiced soap. There. And then that last third is what takes that U-turn and goes back down into the spices and gives you something bricky. Gives you something woody, but old wood. And hold on, let me look for the honey.
Yes, I was just going to ask you, actually.
Y'all, I don't know how, but this is the scent of honey if it was carbonated. I'm not entirely sure how, but it's got a peppery effervescence to it. And y'all, the balance of these scent notes is the mastery here. And there's something else binding with the tobacco at the very end that is just slightly giving it a little bit more of a different beigey color. I don't know if there is just a grain of oud, a grain of something under the surface, but I think it's a wood. I think it's a spice.
And it's not enough to make it dark.
No.
It just makes the brighter sides turn up.
Right. And y'all, this does not go past 11:15 a.m. What a beautiful morning day is breaking, sunlight streaming through your window scent this is.
It's a perfect fit because it is almost spring. And I feel like when the sun starts to come out, this is a scent you're going to reach for immediately.
This one we almost lost.
Yes.
This was one we almost didn't get, and I was a little proud of myself when I called Doug. I was like, well, I was able to resist one, and he was like, no, you weren't.
No.
So thank you, buddy, for not letting me step into that puddle, because if I had missed out on this and smelled it later, I would have been so sad. I would have gone crawling to eBay.
All right, I think you're done watching us guess. Let's take a moment and look at these actual scent notes before we build a lather.
All right, y'all, back to the sales page at Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. Whoa,
There's
strap in, pack a lunch, y'all. We got a long list here, starting with
black pepper,
great,
petitgrain, grapefruit, neroli, lavender, plumeria, geranium, oak moss, what? Purple carnation.
I quit. I'm done. You know why? I can smell the purple.
Australian sandalwood.
Beautiful.
Haitian vetiver, all over the world. Apoponox resin. India, olibanum resin. Ambergris,
I know what that is.
Tobacco, and absolute. We got a few.
Y'all mark your scorecards at home. All right, let's start at the top. The black pepper is what's giving the honey its sense of carbonation, I think. And how are you getting the petitgrain?
I think that's just that season switch to spring somehow.
Right. And then a sweet grapefruit note binding with
neroli, lavender, plumeria, geranium, all those like sweeter, nicer florals maybe.
And then as they enter the mid notes, the oak moss takes over. Not exactly dry, but certainly not sweet either. And then, y'all, do you sense the purple along with the carnation? I mean, my dad was a funeral director, and every once in a while a clown would die, and there'd be carnations in every color. And then he had to go down under for the sandalwood. How are you sensing that? I don't even know if I'm sensing a sandalwood in this yet.
I just kept getting a light creamy wood. Maybe that's it.
You know, hold on. There is a little bit of a bracing, squinchy light note that can exist if the sandalwood doesn't go too dark. And I think that's what I'm getting here. Do you sense that? Like a light sandalwood sense?
Yeah, I think my brain just knew it was a light wood. But now that you're saying it's a sandalwood, it adds that creaminess kind of to it.
And now we did mention it was honeyed wood tobacco scents. Is that the only wood? Is the sandalwood?
Huh. I guess there's a lot more resins after that, so maybe.
Right. Haitian vetiver. Think gray vetiver from Tom Ford. You get that? That's the vetiver, I think, is in there.
I think you might be right.
And then he does a little breakout paragraph down below on a Apoponox resin. Put a pin in that. Indian olibanum resin. Ambergris, which we all know is...
And for our last scent note, we have tobacco absolute.
You know what's funny? I have a lot of reverb plugins that I use to mix and master my music with, and sometimes you want a reverb that's very close, the early reflections, and sometimes you want to put yourself in the middle of Notre Dame Cathedral because you need the sound to sound more distant. You need more distance between the listener and the performer. You know what's really cool about the tobacco note that's hiding in this? There's some distance there. It's not a tobacco leaf in your face. You are in a room where they have been collecting and curing these tobacco leaves, but maybe a week ago. It's a distance between you and the spices, and I love it because only certain parts of those spices are making their way to your nose, and that is how it's binding with that beautiful, clean, soapy sense for me. And why don't we build a ladder?
I was
Where
just
did we
gonna say
get
that.
this fun-looking bowl from?
This is our Haley's Artisan Sprinkles Bowl.
Y'all, it reminds me of Saturday morning with Pee Wee, Herman, and Warner Brothers cartoons, and I'm just going to push the soap into the ridges on the bottom of the bowl. So if you have this bowl as well, don't push it into the honeycomb on the sides, push it into those deep ridges in the bottom. And the goal, y'all, is to create a smooth surface so the brush doesn't pull up any chunks. Then what we do is we give this a lateral bloom. We're going to let the water relax down there at the bottom of the bowl, and we're going to get that soap nice and wet at the top of the bowl with 13 to 14 sprays. And as Douglas will tell you, when in doubt, add water. And y'all, Sarah's going to be using my favorite brush in the wet shaving world. This is my Atomic Rocket from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. This is the fan tip. I also have the bulb tip, and this ties with the Sterling Stubby 22mm brush that I have in the cabinet. And here's how we make our lathers here at the Barbershop Duet. She's going to go forwards. She's going to go backwards. She's going to push down, get a little backbone going onto that soap, start drawing it up onto the bristles, and then, here's the secret. Turn the brush about 25%. Gives those bristles a new orientation to sop that soap up onto them, and then turn it again, another 25%. It's going to have a little bit more room to bring that soap up onto the bristles. And just about the time it's all gone from your Haley's Artisan Saturday Morning Sprinkles Pee Wee Herman bowl, you're going to go down and get the rest of that water, which is a little dangerous to the freshly bathed Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. But that's where the magic starts. Those bubbles are going to start a little bit big and then start getting smaller and smaller. And it goes in phases. And it might be 45 seconds before you've seen anything intermediary happen with your lather. But then all of a sudden, something's going to change. It's going to become a little bit more like yogurt. It's going to start giving a little bit more of a push back to that brush. And then the veteran shaver will tell you, 45 seconds later, it changes again.
I have to say, the smells coming off of this lather is brilliant. Those sweet kind of florals. I'm getting the neroli. All the citruses are coming through. It is a good morning with this.
Y'all, I am just thrilled I can finally say I have a soap that smells like soap. Well, because one of my favorite scents in all of the wet shaving world is that little tree that you hang as an air freshener in your car, and it's clean, fresh shave scent. Doesn't smell like any shave soap I've ever smelled. But boy, does it smell amazing. Soap just itself has a beautiful, nostalgic, homey sense to it.
I know we never talk about lather, but this CK6, my goodness, friends, it is full.
Yeah, like an atmosphere on Mars. And this is something you will only find here on the Barbershop Duet. This is the We're Getting Stuck in the Honey Tree whiff on 3, 1, 2. There's another set note being built in this that's not on that list, but I'm sensing it somehow, and I'm having a little trouble identifying it, but it is somehow familiar. What are you getting?
Familiar is a good word, actually. Like, it's almost like a nurturing kind of a scent. I don't know what that is, but...
You know the beautiful smell of steam as the iron leaves the lapel of a freshly cleaned suit? Somehow that's in here.
It's funny. It's like right on the cusp of where my brain wants to figure out a category. It goes, is it citrus? I mean, kinda. Is it floral? Kinda. Is it got like a deep side to it? Maybe more the pepper side. Like, it's in all of these different avenues, and I get why they had to do so many different rounds of how this would cure together, but the magic is in the middle on how they're interacting.
Y'all, it's like if the universe itself had some kind of AI app, and you could order a brand new type of leathery suede. It couldn't smell like anything you've smelled before. It had to have a brand new smell to it. But I think there is a beautiful, somehow sensible leathery suede that these are all coming together to make, and I don't know how.
Yes, but I would have to say it's this color somehow. It's that lighter color. It's still not the deeper tones, at least my first whiff.
No, but that's what keeps it masculine for me, and I know this has enormous feminine edges to it, but I love that spiciness at the very bottom of this speaks to a guy. Well, y'all have cornered the market on bubble baths. We need a soap scent every once in a while.
I guess.
And while we don't do shaving here on the Barbershop Duet, we love watching Bjorn, our bear at No Frills Shaving, shave his face. So we will show you how this lather, y'all, coats the moneymaker. Oh, it just feels so good. Hold on a second. Wait.
Yeah.
Oh.
More whiffs this out?
Oh, the soap gives me a beautiful clean sense, and the spice somehow gives me the sense of being super well dressed.
Oh, a little more dressed up for the morning.
Somehow, like a pinstripe gray suit note is in that.
My brain can't decide if it's kind of supposed to be a little more vintage or a little more modern. Like it's almost both sides.
I think the soap is a very modern side of it, and I think the spice is the vintage part. This is a time traveler for sure.
Hey, I guess we'll know when we get to the splash.
Oh, and y'all, it is time to see what mysteries and wonders might be hiding in the splash. So it's kind of funny. Angelo called me the other day and he was like, hey, my splash doesn't make that popping sound when I take the thing out. And I had to show him how to get his finger under. You have to do it like fast, right? So here we go. Hold on a second. Now, this is the new glass restrictor on the Phoenix aftershaves, and they come with this little plastic piece that you take out. It does not go back in, and if you take it out fast, it makes this sound. Ah, I love that. It means good things are about to happen. Would you like to go first?
I guess I would love to.
Go. The masculine and feminine tobacco. Here we go. Angelo style.
Oh, okay. I think I'm getting more of the resins now. That end of the list.
Oh, and I'm getting the florals. That is gorgeous. Wow.
Oh, she woke up. How's that smelling?
She's getting a mint. Wildflowers on a spring day.
There you go.
Is wild. What are you getting?
I think it has to be that second half of the list that I'm not as well versed with.
Right.
Something in the resins, like it's not dry. It's still warm somehow.
Right, it's almost a gourmand. And y'all, from the sales page at Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements.
Opopanax, or sweet myrrh, is a cousin of the healing myrrh, with a warm balsamic and sweet honey-like aroma.
Olibanum is characterized by a balsamic, spicy, slightly lemon fragrance of incense with a conifer-like undertone that plays really well with the tobacco leaf. Frankincense is mentioned in the Bible as one of the 3 gifts, like myrrh, that the wise men gave to the young child Jesus. Being that Astra Planeta takes its name from the 5 Greek gods of the wandering stars, this marriage of frankincense and myrrh seemed to not only work wonders scent-wise, but also thematically in the story I'm telling. Holy smokes, no? The sandalwood, the resins, and the honey are giving this the sweetness that is wrapping the tobacco in a giant hug, and it's over there. I am getting the echoes from it. It's not crawling up my nose.
It's funny, at the beginning of the whiff, I'm getting much more of the lemon side of it, like that.
Right.
And as soon as it starts to dry down, then it goes that balsamic, woody kind of mid-tone, and then that kind of layer of the tobacco spice at the end kicks in.
The citrus in the splash is what's jumping out at me. And y'all, here's why I love this best. When I put on Harvest Moon, that's not only tobacco, but all of my neighbors know that's tobacco. It's 2 kinds of tobacco with currant underneath it. But this is the other way around. The tobacco is under the surface, and it's the honeyed woods. It's the adventure into the forest that you have to start before you can even find that tobacco note. And I love that. It's hidden underneath a blanket of blue, soapy clean.
So I think, on a crowd-pleasing scale for tobaccos, this is like off the charts crowd-pleasing.
What's our chart go to? 10? This is an 11. This goes to 11. And the magic scale from 1 to 10, taking set notes we already know and putting them together in a brand new clever balance. What do you give this?
I think like 8.5.
I'm back at 11. And I guess the charm in all of this is as if a beautiful tobacco note has been given a bubble bath.
Yeah. So sometimes we like to point out if things are like a gentle scent. So if Marcus has to do a show or I have to do a show and we're not really supposed to wear a scent, this one is subtle enough, and I think it would become part of your persona, that it would be a good one to have for that. Yeah.
The opposite of a bossy soap, and it's pretty simple, y'all. All you have to do is be a budding physicist. You're going to get a ton of education. You're going to get a ton of experience. You're going to be on every TV network. You're going to be in every home in America, but all they're ever going to remember Neil deGrasse Tyson for is demoting the planet Pluto. But hey, he got his own. So head over to their website at phoenixartisanaccoutrements.com, or even better, do it by way of the link in the description. It's an affiliate link, which lets them know that we sent you, and it gives us back a small percentage of the sale, which we'll probably spend on soap so we can make more episodes. It's at no cost to you, and we would be grateful. Well, I have had my shave, y'all, with Astra Planeta, a beautiful, rich, deep, spicy, masculine soap, and a brand new form of tobacco right down the middle of it. Beautiful, friendly, clean, light. And y'all, I think if they had hired Douglas and Fran to create the original Dior Fahrenheit, this would not have been far way better. And I am excited for the rest of our purge soaps. Welcome to Messages.
So for our March giveaway, we wanted to give you a chance to get $25 to McDuff Soap Company.
It's in Canadian dollars, y'all, and all you have to do to be eligible is send us an email here to WeSentYou@theBarbershopDuet.com so we can get back to you, and then check back on our first April episode to see if you are our lucky winner.
Best of luck.
I love that you said gentle.
Yeah.
Beautiful, mellow, and yet super rich in its complexity.
I still go back to like starting off my day. You know when you wake up and you can hear the birds chirping outside, the sun's coming through the window, there's a gentle breeze. You can just sit and indulge in your coffee. Somehow that's this scent to me.
And y'all, do you see how this is taking on the qualities of actual whipped cream and butter? If you stir it long enough, miracles and wonders with this Phoenix ladder.
I do want to say thank you to Douglas Lane to making sure we had this in the den, because this really does have a place.
You saved me from such sorrow and heartache, my friend, and we will return the favor. Thank you so much for sending this, and thank you all for being here. Our Whiff Pack members make our Wednesdays and Saturdays so much fun.
Don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell better just watching this.